episode of the Moneyline Podcast. And this time we have a friend. How long have I known you now, Maurice? 3 years? 2 years?
4 years.
Yeah, 3-4 years. Yeah. Maurice. Maurice, can you please introduce yourself for the podcast?
How you guys doing? I'm Maurice. I am an attorney out here in Houston, Texas. I've been an attorney now for going on 8 years, I think. Yeah, I think this year's my 8th year of practice. Kind of bounced around, actually. I've kind of practiced in a lot of different fields, like from the commercial litigation to like personal injuries, what I'm doing now, a little like medical stuff, like you name it, I've kind of done a little bit of it, but yeah.
So that was one of the things that we on the podcast are always intrigued by is how the different ways that people make money. We always ask them, how do you make your money? And you had said yourself, you bounced around. Kind of tell us a little bit about your background. You went to school in New York, is that right?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Houston, or Katy, actually, from Katy, Texas, right on the suburbs. When it was time to go to college, I actually went to college in New York at St. John's.
You're one of the smart ones, smart lawyers out there.
So really enjoy St. John's, literally enjoy New York. It was like night and day from like, growing up in Katy, Texas and like the suburbs. And now you're like hustle and bustle. You're not even driving a car. You're taking trains, buses, cabs, whatever. And like really enjoyed it. So then when it came down for like law school, it was like, where do you really want to go? St. John's was always there. Funny thing is like St. John's was like my safety net school.
Really?
It was my safety net school. Like I thought about all these cool schools, but then St. John's came with like a really competitive package. And I was like, you already know those people. You know how to hustle there. You know how to grind there. It just made sense to go back.
I had the exact opposite experience. I was like, who is willing to take me?
Right?
I didn't have options.
You're
I was like,
more limited on the
where's the
choices.
cheapest place I can go and who will take me? But no, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, David.
No, yeah. So St. John's, so you went to law school there?
I went to law school too at St. John's. Really great experience. I think that's why I kind of have the personality I have with the law, where I'm cool to like bounce around, learn all these different things. Because like when I was in law school, like you name it, I did it. From like mock trial to like being on a journal to like starting with student organizations, working with the administration, you name it, we did it. And so that's why I started my practice up on the East Coast, because I went to school there.
Yeah. So when you started up, where did you start? You don't have to tell me detailed names, but cool. I know. Did you start in big law or
no? So I started at like a mid-sized firm, like a general practice, like mid-sized firm in New Jersey. I clerked a summer clerkship there. It was cool, but like you could kind of see the ceiling. Like, yeah, this place is cool, but like, are you really gonna make good money? Yeah. Are you gonna have a really good career here? Yeah. Like, no. You could already read like the writings on the wall. So what I did was actually get a clerkship with a federal judge, because I had a lot of people in my ear and they're like, if you go clerk for a judge, like that can really open a lot of doors for you. So I got really lucky, got in with a federal judge, really learned a lot from him. And then next, that's when big law came, and that's when the door opened, because big law loves, the prestige. So, they love the big schools and like the federal clerkships and like the cool background and whatever nonsense, they're kind of picky with that. And that's how I got the opportunity to go to big law.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then you hated it.
So the funny thing is, like, big law kind of has that stigma where like you kind of have like your tight wad or whatever, and you kind of have like
80-hour weeks.
Yeah. So the hustle never bothered me. Like the long hours never bother me. Especially when we had trials or big, cases, like I had no problem rolling up sleeve, doing the crazy hours. It was just like the people. Like there are times where just like some of the people you're around, you're just like,
Giving you the
Can you elaborate on what do you mean? You don't have to name a person,
right.
but like what
personality.
Personality.
Name a person. Oh, there was John
Some
Smith.
examples.
Okay.
Names have been changed.
Okay.
Some examples.
Names have been changed.
Deshaun.
I have
My name's Sean. Oh, LaShawn.
Right.
Like you would just like there's like certain partners. I started off at a big law firm in New York. It was like when I first started off, and it was like the cliche white shoe where you see on TV, corporate law firm, right? But there are some people that are really down to earth and you can really connect with them. But there's certain people where like they think that like because they went to certain schools and they have a certain pedigree and this and the other, like they kind of look down on other like people. And then like even though like St. John's is a good school, like St. John's not Harvard. You know what I mean? That's St. John's not Yale.
Yeah.
And you're going to work with people that literally went to like Harvard and Yale. Like you met people.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you met people like I've clerked
People actually went there?
Exactly. And like I've clerked for a Supreme Court justice, so I'm this and I'm that. And you're like, bro, cool, but like
We have the same job.
Yeah.
We're working on the same case.
Yeah.
exactly.
Tell me what that made for you. You know, like how does that differ? What I can do for the firm? You know, that's crazy.
It really is because like it just. I guess one thing is just like even though like I said like I had no problem with like the work and the ethic, it's just like I never felt like I truly fit in. You know, because like I'm like first generation American. My mom is from like Liberia, West Africa. She came over when she was 22. She like cleaned houses and stuff like that. And that's how I grew up. That's what put like food in my belly. So like that is kind of like how I've always seen people is like my mom was a cleaning lady. And like, yeah, I got to know all these rich and like cool people, but you kind of came in their houses like that and they treated you a certain type of way. So you've always had like that humble kind of attitude. So then when you go off into these prestigious worlds and like all these things, it's just like, I just never forgot, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm still that kid from Katy, Texas. I used to clean houses with my mom. So, like, I just can't be like that.
Yeah.
You know
Can't
what I mean?
relate.
Exactly,
to that.
Vince. Exactly.
Yeah.
I just can't relate to it.
So was there some treatment that caused you within the firm that, did they, like, if a case came up, did they ask you to do something? Hey, can you make us some copies or some bullcorn like that? I don't know.
So, it's like bullcorn.
I'm just saying. You know, like,
Can you make us some bullcorn?
This is your coworker, right? And,
Yeah.
you know, like, and we're working the same case, dude. You know.
So the way they kind of do it as, like, even though they're kind of picky sometimes, but once you get to the firm, because they're kind of picky for you to get to the firm, right? They want to look at certain pedigrees and certain prestige. But once we all make it, now it's, like, based on, like, your class year, right? So, like, for example, you're only a 1 or 2nd year attorney or a 3rd year attorney. You're looked at as, like, a junior attorney. 4th, 5th, and 6th, now you're a mid-level attorney. And then if you go 7th and 8th, then obviously, like, you're a senior associate. So, like, based on your class year, it's kind of like their expectations of you. So if you're coming, like, 1st, 2nd, 3rd year, to your point, yeah, you're making copies. You're doing the redlining. Like, you're doing, like, the mundane, like, tasks.
Gotcha.
But then as you progress in the firm, you get older, then the task starts changing, especially when they see like your work ethic. And if you're willing to go above and beyond, you might end up doing projects where even though you're like a 3rd or 4th year, you're working directly with a partner or a senior associate and like no one even realizes like you're this young junior attorney.
Right.
So
I've always been curious about this. I had an experience. It was a mid-law where I interned, and this was when my
In janitorial
second.
or
I think it was a 2L, and it was here in Houston. Doesn't matter. The firm dissolved, but at the end of my internship, I shouldn't even say this on camera, but I had gauges in my ears. I had earrings.
gross.
And I took my earrings out for whenever I was there. And at the end, the partner, I had like my interview whenever I was done, and he said, "We like you. You have a great attitude. You're not afraid of work and not afraid of sticking around. But unfortunately, you just don't fit the mold that we're looking for." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And he was like, "Son," he was like, you're going to have a hard time finding work with a big firm with your ears like that." And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that was something that was told to me.
He's being honest.
I mean, it's not that far-fetched, especially 20 years ago.
I get
20
it.
years ago, yeah, but that's what I hate about corporate America. It's like, I'll be honest with you, like, so I have a tattoo on my arm. This is one of the craziest things that I ever chose to do because I was like, what kind of job am I going to be able to get with a tattoo on my arm? At that time still was not really that acceptable. I was like, well, I'll just wear long sleeves. I have to. But then I thought, I was like, you know what? If I can't get a job with this on my arm, then I probably don't belong there. Or I probably don't want to be there.
100%.
Anyway. So
100%.
So now just sleeve it out.
right? Face tattoo. Yeah.
But no, it's funny that so the only reason why I brought that up is because I wanted to know if you could tell me more insight about how partner tracks work. Because I after that I never worked for another big firm again, so I was always curious about that.
So like kind of going to what I said, where like they kind of watch you, like based on your work ethic, how you're going above and beyond. But sometimes when you first get there, like partners will like pick certain people that they can connect with, right?
Okay.
So like for example, when I first got there, one of the first partners I worked with is because that partner went to the same law school I went to. Okay. And then he also was a judge before. So when he heard like, all right, St. John's kid, plus, you know, he clerked, then he kind of gravitated toward me, right? But like not saying any names, he was one of those partners that I'm kind of referring to were just like, no, you want to
click.
Yeah, you need to stay away from that guy, right? But then the other partners, the thing about partners, what you realize is like in these big firms, just like associates talk, partners also talk. So a partner, to your point, David, will like might necessarily not see you like that's who I want on my case, but they'll talk to other partners and they like will find out like, oh, that kid can do X, Y, and Z, or that kid is not afraid to stay late, or that kid is really good at deadlines. So even though you would think like, okay, this partner I never could connect with, I don't think I'd ever get on their radar. They've heard from someone, and then next thing they'll knock on your door. It's like, hey, I got a case with you. And it could be like even a pro bono case. It could be a small case. And the second they work with, like I had a couple partners like that where like I might have started off with a pro bono or a small matter. They saw how I worked. So then when they got like these big cases or like the ones that are like super cool, the ones that you see like in the media and whatever, they're like, hey, I know Mo's like a really hard worker. Let me go get him. I've already had him on a case. So that's sometimes where you can get the traction and continue the business within the firm.
Ah, very interesting.
So you didn't run into one partner that you identified or had any type of associate with?
No, there were a few. No, I wouldn't say like completely corporate America, everyone's evil or whatever. No, there were some that I really enjoyed working with. One that it kind of brings to my mind and which kind of blew my mind a little bit because this person was like, in the firm, this person was huge because that partner was not only the partner, he was head of all litigation of the partner. So like everyone in the firm knew who he was. Like he was a big deal. He actually helped hire me because he came from St. John's. But we had some interaction, but I never worked for him really because like he was kind of all the way down there. Like he was always doing something so serious. But then going to my point where like you do a lot of these small tasks and then they grow. So I was on a small task. I was like doc review, but I took it very seriously. And then that case was a big case. We ended up going to trial. And he was a big time trial attorney at the firm. So I was already on a scene where like I had no idea I had been doing work for him. But because of all the different levels and layers you know, I'm a junior, but then there's a mid-level, and then next you know, there's a senior or whatever. By the time we got on a trial team, like, he already knew my work product to a point where, like, now I'm writing, like, crosses for him. Now I'm writing directs for him. Now he's trusting me to do evidence. And I'm like, it's blowing my mind. I'm like, I've never done work for you, and then you're giving me, like, these serious tasks.
Yeah.
Like, going to your point, like...
You've been working for him the whole time.
Exactly, because there's so many layers, and they all talk. So I was just like, wow.
Okay.
And then, like, me and that partner, like... Even though he was like a big shot, we just meshed. And even though we came from two different worlds, I think part of his thing was just like, I know you have a personality and I know you don't come from this world, but I kind of want you to understand you can be in this world. You know what I mean? That's kind of, I always felt like that was his attitude. Yeah, he was always trying to get me in front of important people, and not only like in the firm and like business development, but like, you guys all know this, when it comes to lawyers, like a lot of deals are done on the golf course or in like social clubs or
lunch,
you know at lunch. Like a lot of deals are always done that way. So then he started bringing me to certain things like that, and no other partner was doing that. You know, other partners would like work with me and have me talk to clients, whatever, but like physically taking me out of the firm to go to things and have me sit in tables with him, and then taking me to his social club that he's like on the board of governors. He was the only one that did that. So we really connected on. I understood, like, he's trying to, like, open a door for me. And, like, to me, like, especially in that field and how crazy it is and knowing how much of a big shot he was, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Nice. Do you still keep in contact with that person?
Not really.
Yeah.
We don't because, like, when you talk about your gauges and they kind of were like, oh, we don't know if you fit that mold or whatever.
Yeah.
As you guys can see, my ears are pierced. When I went to those firms, like, I always took them out. Like, interviews, first couple of weeks, whatever.
Put the speaker
But then-
the speaker box, Kelly.
But then after a while, I'm like, going to your point, Vince, like, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to be myself. Like, I'm not going to hide who I am.
Yeah.
So I think it was after, like, 2 weeks or so, like, and I have tattoos, but I'm dark skinned, so you don't see them as often, but they're on my arms and everything. So if you look, you'll see them. But after, like, 2 weeks, like, I put my earrings in and rolled up my sleeve. I kid you not, I remember I was going to the bathroom, and then he was coming out, and he just made this face. And like just looked at me, made this, and like this very uncomfortable face. And I already knew what he was looking at. And then I saw where he was looking. Exactly. But the funny thing is, like, that even though I had earrings, like, he started still getting to know me. And, like, when he started taking me places, like, that was with my earrings in. The only time I took my earrings out was when we had client meetings or depots or stuff like that, when we had, like, these super important clients. And I don't know, they don't know me, I don't know them. So, yeah, the earrings would come out. But when we're at work, like, no, they're in. And then going to your point about, like, keeping contact with him, like, he's amazing, but I kind of made him upset when I transferred to the Houston office.
Oh.
He kind of like was grooming me to be like that partner in New York and all that stuff. So he kind of felt hurt. So it kind of put the strain, you know, a little bit on the relationship when I came down here to Houston.
I get a whole like, and I'm not too familiar with the show, but Suits vibe, right? Is that?
How many
Have you-
episodes? We just talked about. How
Oh,
many
my bad.
episodes of Suits do you think you've watched in your life?
I don't know, 10.
I've never
I
seen
watched
an
a few
episode,
seasons. I watched a
so-
few seasons.
I don't know,
wanna-
Vince.
I just want to know. I'm gonna wear my do rag next week.
You always wear it. I don't understand.
You're wearing a do-rag right now.
Hey,
That's a doo-doo rag.
big star on the baby.
So the funny thing is, Vince, like, I was a huge Suits fan.
Okay.
Like, Harvey Specter was my guy.
That's
like,
the man.
Like, I saw Harvey and I was like, I want to be just like you, right?
Yeah.
Like, super cool, super dashing, would, like, go to court, but then have a giant mediation at
Right,
lunch.
at lunch.
At
And then,
lunch.
And
And
then,
then close
huge
the
case
deal,
at
a
3.
giant corporate
Yeah.
merger for dinner.
Yeah.
So I was like, that is like
Overnight.
Overnight.
And then you're back in the office at 6 a.m.
No, not just
Exactly.
that. Not just that. Drinking.
Yeah,
Yes.
drinking the whole
At
night.
the end of the
Poker
day,
game.
yes.
And then
Overnight
finish-
poker game
yes.
with a judge.
Finishing scotch.
And signing
Yes.
off
At
on
3
a
o'clock
case.
in the
Yeah.
morning.
And then you get
And
all
then-
the girls doing
Yeah.
it too.
And
So
you-
it was like super cool.
And you beat everybody to work
Yeah.
the next morning.
Exactly.
Where you been?
We started.
Where you
we
been?
started at 7. Where y'all been?
So the funny thing is, like I said, like Vince, I was a huge Suits fan. And then you get to law school.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Right,
that's
and then
not-
you're around lawyers, and then you watch this. He's like, I remember, I couldn't even watch Suits no more.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so BS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like another show for me that was huge. Like, was you guys know Billion? Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Billion?
Billions
yeah.
is so good.
Like
yeah.
on Showtime. Like I remember, I used to watch Billions all the time. I was like, yo, like the feds are crazy. You
Yeah.
know, Bobby's trying to do his thing. Stop coming for Bobby. Like, you know what I mean? Like F the government. I'll never do that. And then I turn around and do an internship for the U.S. Attorney's Office.
And you realize
and I find out
Now you're another side.
the corrupt things that are happening.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
remember my boys would hit me up all the time. You're like,
You're the man. You're the fuzz now.
like, yo, Mo, like, is Billions real? Like, do they? And I was at the Eastern District instead of like the Southern District. Because Southern District is like the prestigious one, right? Because that's
With
one in
Paul
Manhattan.
Giamatti.
Exactly. And I remember, like, he would always, like, make fun of, like, if you screw up, I'll send you to the Eastern District with, like, all the rejects.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Remember you say that? So then when I went to Eastern District, my boys used to hit me up with, like,
Ghetto.
exactly. Are you a reject? Are you ghetto? Like, you're not in Manhattan, though. You're in Brooklyn? Like, ew. God forbid you're in Brooklyn.
In a borough. Are you?
Literally.
I think I liked. I guess it's showing my age, but I was.
Oh, gosh, here
I
we
always
go.
watched
Ally
Boston,
McBeal.
Boston Legal.
Okay.
I love Boston Legal. I thought that what's his name, William Shatner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was
Good.
hilarious in that, and James Spade too. But everybody like they always ask me about Suits,
It's
and I'm like,
glorifying.
I cannot
Yeah.
relate to like what the day to day of what happens in these shows. Like
No, it's funny because one episode, I think like his driver hits.
Yeah.
Gets in an accident with a
Right,
taxi
yeah.
cab
Yeah.
driver,
Yeah.
and they
And he
have
runs
the
it-
lawsuit. They
Yes.
have the trial that day.
Yes. You're like, no
Oh,
way.
You're watching. You're like,
No way.
come on, bro. That would be 2 years from now.
And then Harvey's like,
Yeah.
I'll do the case for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah,
and you have
right.
Jessica come down and was like, you put in X amount of hours, so we're gonna
Right.
build the firm on that.
Exactly.
You're like, bro, there's no way.
And they found all this like PI stuff on the
In like
yeah,
24
in 20
hours?
yeah.
Like, get out of
Crazy.
here.
It was so
Like,
ridiculous.
there's no way you're doing that in 24 hours, bro.
It's so funny the amount of times I'm like, pfft.
Oh, yeah.
It's like so
That would never
unrealistic.
happen,
That would
yeah.
never happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, two of the questions that we always ask our guests
Mm-hmm.
is, what is one thing that you wish more lay people knew
Mm-hmm.
about your industry or your profession What is it that you wish they knew that they do not know?
I think something that we've all been kind of talking about based on the shows and seeing things is like when people think of a lawyer, there's only like a couple of things that they see, right? They don't understand there's so many different types of lawyers. Like people think of like the corporate lawyer, obviously that they see on TV and the high rises, the nice tailored suits, all that nonsense, right? Then of course they think about the government. So they think about the prosecutor that's like trying to lock people up or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The good guy.
The good guy.
Good guy.
But then sometimes think about the criminal attorney because criminal attorneys they got to get you off sometimes. And then they think about when they absolutely in like their hardest and most desperate moments, like either they get hurt or they're going through a divorce, then they also think about a lawyer. Yeah. So you're only thinking about like maybe 4 types of lawyers. Yeah. So I think that's something that gets a little frustrating because then like you have to explain to people like there's more. Yeah. Especially like when I left Big Law to go do other things, there's like there's other things you could be doing?
Yep.
Like what? And then they find out like you can go and do things that like sometimes will be even more fulfilling, but then you'll make either the same or even more money, and that really blows them. Like they can't comprehend that. Yeah. And there's other ways to make money compared to what they think they know about a lawyer.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I had a while back, my law school invited me to be a mentor, and I was like, you don't want me to do that. But I was like, I'll talk to somebody, but you don't want me to do it. So I talked to the person.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Leave law school.
Yeah.
Get out.
And they talked about wanting to do Big Law, they knew that's where the most money was, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, hey, just
there is prestige, and I can see people that
prestige.
Chase that.
Yes. And I get it. I completely understand. But if we're talking purely about economics and money, you have the opportunity to make a lot of money a lot of different ways.
Yes.
And that's one thing I've told people a lot is go get your law degree, because if you decide not to practice law,
it's always
there are so many doors that open up for you in different things, like just different things that you don't have to be a lawyer and practice law. You can just because you have the license, it opens up a lot of opportunities. And I don't think people realize that. But that one person, she decided to go into immigration law, and now she's an immigration attorney. So.
But that's the thing, like, David, good thing you did that. Yeah. Because going through law school, like, I remember, because it wasn't that, like, 10, 11 years ago, so I still kind of remember it. Like, law schools have, like, a certain mold. It's almost like a certain formula.
Yeah.
Where they're like, you come in, you make very good grades, you get on law review, you go summering at a big corporate firm.
You get an offer.
Then you get an offer, and then you go be at a big corporate firm, hopefully become partner with someone important, where basically we can get 2 things from you. We can get jobs from you, and you're going to write that check from us. Yeah. And they've been doing this formula for so long. You know what I mean? So that's why they need mentors like you and other people, because I remember, like, I didn't meet people like you. Yeah. Like, I didn't meet other lawyers until I left law school and then got in the real world, because they always were bringing in the same cookie-cutter people into the school. Like, you wouldn't really meet all these different people, not until you got out and you start going to networking events, and then you're like, you see these cool people doing all these great things. Sometimes you would even see someone you even knew that was doing some cool things. And you find out they went to your law school. You're like, why is the law school not promoting this? Yeah. Like, this person went to this same school, like, but then you want to sit there because they went to this huge, big firm. Then also now I know that person in and out. Yeah. But this other person's doing, like, killing the game, and you guys aren't even acknowledging that person.
It's so funny. Like, a perfect example of that is somebody that I saw yesterday again that I hadn't seen in a while. And this was at a golf tournament, and he's a lawyer. He'd been practicing for about, I think, 9 years. And he decided to try this really niche area of HOA law. And I was like, no clue on what that is. Homeboy netted $4 million last year.
There you go.
Netted.
There you go.
On HOA?
On HOA.
There you go.
He represents a bunch of different HOAs.
Oh, HOA companies themselves?
And he was just like, and I was like, do you try? He's like, dude, I literally review the documents, settle any disputes, bill them.
Was this
this is on retainer? No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was like, I wouldn't even have thought of that. But
I mean, I definitely can see the need for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
a lot of people who, I mean, I obviously have a lot of gripes against HOAs, so I can see.
I'd imagine it the other way.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
repping the HOA.
Yeah, he's repping them.
Oh.
So he's
Yeah.
repping them.
Oh,
He's not going.
but he's on the retainer then, right?
He's
So
on retainer,
Yeah, so
and any disputes or anything like that, it's an additional amount. I was like,
plenty of business
That's a good
then.
hustle.
yeah. So I know. I was
He's
like,
Find your niche.
yeah. But so the second question that we ask people all the time is, what is it about your industry or profession that frustrates you the most? And I know you got a lot of them, but that you wish the general public knew.
Wow, that's a really hard question because you're right. There's a couple of things, you know. I'll just do like current because like the last year or so, like I've been practicing personal injury. So like the cool thing about personal injury is like you're dealing with more. You deal with people. I feel like more compared to like when you're in a suit and tie and it's kind of like this barrier. You see a company like no, you can actually connect with someone right there, you know, and you get a whole lot more hands-on experience compared to when you're, you know, wearing the suit and the big laws and all that stuff. But I think what's kind of frustrating sometimes where people don't understand is like something that you told me when I was thinking about personal injury, David, where like you only eat what you catch. You know what I mean? So like sometimes that can be frustrating. 'Cause, like you can be a damn good attorney, you can be like killing the game and all that stuff, but if you can't market yourself or you don't know how to be social or you can't network, it doesn't matter.
No one's signing up with you.
No one's signing up. It's not like when you go to these big law firms where like they just know the name.
Yeah.
And they're signing.
They're signing, right? Like a Chevron will literally see like, oh, you work at this firm, and you have this criteria. Signing done wherever, right? Give me.
Here's $100,000 retainer.
Let's go.
You don't have to smooth talk them. You don't have to do nothing. It's just
No.
The name.
Yeah.
The name itself, and then of course they're reading the news, so they see like, oh, you just helped out X, Y, and Z. Like, oh my God, the only real thing you have to do is now like service a client. So I'm not saying like big law is easy or whatever, but like I think you have to be more business oriented, you know, doing personal injury and these other forms of law than sometimes in like the big corporate places. And sometimes that can get frustrating. You know,
I could see that.
oh yeah.
I could.
Oh, for sure.
100%
We're
see that.
constantly up against names that
Yep.
people are seeing on a daily basis that are steering them towards, you know.
Well, especially the higher value, more catastrophic injury cases,
Yeah.
because it's like, yeah, immediately they think of the big names. It's like, oh, and then if we're in the running, well, we have to really sell ourselves.
Exactly.
Like, how can we, you know,
We're just
differentiate
really
ourselves?
doing this podcast in front of this huge sign right here, just for fun.
Yeah. It has nothing to do
This
with.
has nothing to.
nothing to do with that. I got you.
But no, I think I remember when we had that conversation, and it's hard because I'm not a social person. Like, and they make fun of me all the time. He says he thinks I am. Like I'm a closet social.
The most
He's our
often
number
social
one
person.
salesperson.
Yeah.
I would say 25% of our cases come from just the fact that he made some kind of contact somewhere along the way in his lifetime, and this is how we got here. So you can't say
He made the contact, but Vince probably.
So,
talked
Yeah,
about
well,
it.
and I can tell you, and I can tell you a big reason why, and I've tried to instill this in everybody that I've met that works with us or for us. I'm a very, very big proponent of unsolicited acts of kindness, and I think I've told you that. And I said I will do things for people, and they're like, "What do I owe you?" I'm like, "Dude, don't worry about it. Just if anything comes up in the future, let us know." And it could be a month, a week, a year, 2 years. But it happens, and it's just because they remember that act of kindness, and that like you're not expecting anything from it, and it's just it's something that's really kind of paved the road for us to be where we're at now. So I'm kind of happy about that. Like it makes me, because she's right. Like I try to be social, but I find myself being awkward a lot, and it's especially when I'm not good at small talk, especially with people I don't know. With people I do know.
No problem.
Oh, okay, maybe it's the
But-
people you don't know.
But with people I don't know, I'm like,
He's always like, hey, Vince, get over
How's
here.
it?
I'm not good.
He's crying over that video.
yeah. But no,
Let me go
yeah.
save this dude real quick.
What did you say?
But yeah, so I think it's just one of those things, and I'm glad, dude. That's very refreshing to hear all the stuff about Big Law, because I had no idea.
You've been through it all, dude.
Same, yeah.
You really have.
I've bounced around. Like I really have bounced around. Had some really good experience. Because the one thing, like a lot of people, are like, all right, you don't have a niche, this and the other. But what I've discovered as I progress in my career is like every place I've been, I kind of picked up something.
Yeah.
Got to.
And then what I'm doing now is like, I know how to do that because I was at that place. And I know how to do this because I was at this place. And I know how to talk to this person, or I know who I need to call to, or whatever. So it's kind of cool that like seeing it now, like now I know like why you were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had a buddy of mine one time who he graduated top 5 in our class in law school, went to a big law firm, was there, and he told me he was going out on his own. I was like, dude, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. He was like, hey, man, I've never done intake before. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, I have never done an intake, and he'd been practicing for like 8 years.
Yeah.
And it's just not something that big law,
No.
they don't teach you that. Yeah, that's not how it works.
No, you're absolutely right. I've never done intakes or I got personal injury.
Yeah.
Never done it.
It's crazy, right?
Sign up a case? Never done it. Build out folders? Never done it. You know, retainer? Never done it. Things that, you know, you do every single day, but
Yeah.
For
no.
sure. Yeah.
It's
You know?
crazy. But no, it's thank you, man. It's really refreshing to hear all this stuff because I had no idea. I'd always wondered, but I had no idea. Moving on to the fun stuff. Ray's excited. You guys did win, right? Oh no.
Oh,
It's off.
It's just sorry button not working.
It's low. He lowered it on purpose.
You should have changed it to cheering.
I'll do it.
Cowboys did win, sir.
They did win.
They
Barely, but they won.
Hey,
a win's
look,
a win.
Look, I'm as upset about that victory as y'all are. That
Like
they
the
won.
Texans barely lost.
Yeah, I am equally upset just because they should be playing better.
So I've got 3 college games that I picked, and then we'll move on to the NFL. But one of them is this one kind of intrigues me. The first game is Michigan, number 21, at Nebraska,
Unranked.
unranked but undefeated. Michigan is only favored by 1.5 in Nebraska.
Michigan let me
it's
down
in
last
Nebraska?
week.
In
Remember,
Nebraska.
Michigan let me down last week on the pick.
I have some familial ties to the Huskers, so I'll take the Huskers.
You're a Husker.
Just because Lori is a Husker. My sister.
Oh, Nebraska.
Nebraska. Very weird.
Okay.
I'm going to pick Nebraska.
transplant in Australia.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to pick Nebraska.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Go Huskers.
Raymond?
Think, Mo?
Oh, why you want me to?
Go ahead.
You're allowing David to guide this. Okay, let me say, I will go. I'm gonna be a contrarian. I'm gonna stick with the team that messed me over, just because I don't want it to be a lock.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Michigan.
I will go with the Huskers. And I think the reason why, David, to your point, why Michigan's only favored by 1, is that the Huskers quarterback, that Dylan Raiola kid, he is the truth.
Yeah.
Like I've seen.
Is
He
that
is.
the
He's
Pat
good.
Mahomes?
He was
Yes,
the,
look-alike.
Look-alike
Yes.
guy?
he was
Yeah.
the true. He's a true sophomore now. I
Yes,
think.
I saw him. He, hit a bumpy road a little bit freshman year, but I've seen a couple games with him.
Yeah.
And then is it at night in Nebraska? Because that's not an easy place to play at night.
Yep.
So I'm not
Because they're
surprised.
psychos there, or
Yeah.
what?
You know these small states.
Have you ever?
These
have
Midwest-
you ever-
yeah, that's
They
all
like
they
that.
got.
That's all they
Friday
got.
Night Lights.
That is
Saturday Night
exactly.
Church.
I saw. It was the craziest place in Nebraska, man. That's all they really have. Seriously.
Yeah.
I remember driving through there at night. All I could think about was Children of the Corn.
No
Yes.
shit. It's got to be one of the whitest states going.
100%. That whole Midwest, that Iowa, Nebraska, all that stuff.
I went to a McDonald's in Nebraska.
A McDonald's?
Yeah,
McDonald's.
there was a
actually.
everybody working and everybody eating was white. There
you
was
go.
a white dude on fries. There's never a white dude on fries.
Not a sunset town.
Yeah, man. I got sundown.
Sundown.
Say the
Gotta get
racism
out
right.
of here. Gotta get out of
We gotta get out of here.
here. Gotta get out there.
Let's get out of here.
My next game, it's an 11 a.m. game, early game. It's Texas Tech, 3-0 at Utah. The Utes 3-0, and Utah is favored by 3.5.
I have no idea about Utah.
I don't know about.
I
I don't know. So Texas Tech is ranked 17. Utah is 16.
Ooh.
It's a good game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the home team.
Of course. Texas, right? Proximity.
You're taking the home team is Utah.
Proximity.
That's what I said.
Oh,
I'll go proximity.
I'll take Utah.
Oh, you're taking Utah.
They're at home.
But we're taking who is proximity to us.
I got you.
In lieu of lack of not information.
Right.
I don't know. Shit
Lack
about
of information.
proximity.
Proximity.
Utes. Got it. Okay, and the next one.
You didn't.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. Utah usually has a good defense, but that Texas Tech, they're known for their offense. So
I don't know anything about
if they put up some points, I'll go with Tech.
Okay.
They put
like
up,
that.
and plus they have a very expensive roster.
Yeah, I think
They
they're
do.
really
That's
lot.
true. They do.
Yes, they've bought a lot of talent. So them boys,
That's
They
true.
bought a lot of
yeah,
talent.
with the NIL,
They did.
you can
now
start
you
writing
can
those
pay.
checks.
Yeah.
They have
a
a
really
very
big
expensive
booster.
Yes.
Right?
So
Texas, huh? All
Yeah.
money.
all money.
All money.
Hello.
there you go.
Earl.
All money.
There you go.
All money.
Okay,
I
last
kind of
one.
want to do UT, but I don't because they're playing
No, we
Well,
Sam
already
they
know.
Houston
fucked
State.
up at
No.
UTEP.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna move on.
Who are they playing?
Sam Houston
Houston
State.
State.
It's not even worth
So-
Well, it's probably going to
21
be
to 14.
What?
10 to 7.
They're gonna win by 3.
Yeah.
10 to 7.
Yeah.
Hello. See?
My next one is number 22 Auburn against number 11 Oklahoma, both undefeated, and OU is favored by 6.5
I would
At
take
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
It's in
in
No,
Oklahoma,
it's-
in Norman. in
I'll
Norman.
take Oklahoma.
Yeah, I would take
They're
Oklahoma.
rough
Oklahoma.
house.
Oklahoma. You think they're going to cover or win outright?
They'll win.
I
They'll
think-
cover.
I'm a-
Would
I
you say?
don't. I
I'm gonna
don't
go
think
money
they'll
line.
cover. I think they'll. I'll take the money line.
Money
I'll
line.
take money
6.5.
line. Yeah.
No, I think they'll cover.
Wasn't Auburn like a top 5 preseason?
That I don't
No?
know.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, like the Buccaneers.
What's up?
What's your pick?
No, I said Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I don't know anything about the money line. I don't know anything about gambling, so I can't help you guys on
Straight
that.
up. No,
part.
you're good. You're good.
An attorney that doesn't gamble. I want
I
this
know.
noted.
Yeah.
You don't trust me, I know.
Doesn't drink. And he doesn't
He
gamble.
drinks.
He drinks.
I
He drinks.
Not in the
Chilling
day
there.
like
just
us.
chilling, just chilling.
Not till the sun. He's a sundown drinker.
What is it? What is it?
Okay, so I got 4 NFL games, and the
Boo.
first one. Let's see, which one should I pick first?
Not the Texans.
I know what I'm going to do.
Do
I'm going to
Cowboys. Do
pick
the
the
Cowboys.
Broncos 1-1 against the Chargers 2-0. Here's the reason why I'm saying this: Chargers are favored by 2.5.
They know something.
So one of our clients, or one of our previous guests, I'm sorry, had a strong rule. Anytime there's a 2.5, you bet the opposite. So
He says it's Vegas tricking you.
yeah.
Okay.
So they think the
Time
Broncos are
travel
going to
is
cover
tricking
it
you.
I got you.
Where's it at?
in San Diego. I guess?
Well, then take
LA?
the
LA
Broncos.
Chargers, LA.
LA.
Yeah.
Take the Broncos.
I'm taking the Chargers.
He says,
I think they're real.
Yeah,
I think the Chargers are real.
Chargers.
But the Broncos are no slouches either. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Wait, is Broncos Pete Carroll?
No, that's the
Who's
Raiders.
Pete
Sean
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton.
And
Saints.
Bo Nix.
Where are you going?
Just because of the rule, Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
me
because
too.
of that rule.
Let's follow Nestor's rule.
Let's
Let's
see.
see.
All right,
see.
for you, Nestor.
Yeah.
I'm blaming you.
Did you
Chargers.
got it?
Chargers.
Next one, we have the Los Angeles Rams 2-0 against the Philly Eagles. 2-0.
Who did the Rams beat last week?
Somebody.
I think
Somebody.
Tennessee. I think
Well,
it was the
Tennessee,
Titans.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was the
it was
Titans.
Titans.
And then they won the first game by.
Eagles are favored by 3.5
Where?
in Philly.
I know exactly what you're trying to get at. I know. I think you thought no one caught that, but I definitely caught that. We were talking about the Rams first. Yeah, I
Who's
watched
the
that
Rams
game.
first win? I'm just
And
trying to
yeah,
understand.
that was hard.
I want to assess their value based
Okay.
on
Oh my
their
gosh.
victories.
Oh my God.
I'll take Philly.
Yeah,
Philly
let's
covering?
fly, birds, fly.
It's in Philly
You
or
know
in
what?
LA?
It's in Philly.
Oh, you can't pick
I
against
hate
the
the
Eagles in
birds,
Philly.
but
I
they've
think
been kicking
I think
ass now.
Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't pick against the
I
Eagles.
think
in
Philly covering too.
I say Philly covering.
Okay. Look at us.
As much as I hate the Eagles.
All right, so
They're gonna win.
before we go on to the Texans game, I'm going to pick my next one is the Lions 1-1 against the Ravens 1-1 in Baltimore.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
hard.
that's a good game. When is this
And,
game?
Win
Noon or 3.
7:15.
Oh, so
Ooh,
it's
it's
NBC
a
prime
night
time.
game.
Yeah.
That's a big game.
You know what? I'm going to
Yeah.
do Lions.
Ravens are favored by
gut.
4.5.
No, I'm going to say Lions.
Where's the game at?
In Baltimore.
Give me Raves.
Baltimore.
Ravens
Money line.
money line.
Baltimore.
After the way the Detroit Lions played the first week,
Yeah.
they're on shaky ground.
I
I
agree.
believe they're going to come out. They're going to play well. But in Baltimore,
blew out the Bears last week.
But that's what's going to happen to the Bears this week. Let's go to the next game.
We're not talking about
It's coming.
the Cowboys and the Bears.
I go Lions with you.
Yeah, go Lions with me. Let's make it interesting.
Raves.
Ravens, they're a more complete team.
Bye.
And then you're in Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Lions
Lamb Jack.
covering the 4.5.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think the Lions will lose.
He's
but
not
they won't lose by
saying,
more.
not saying
Yeah.
they're going to win. I agree.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't.
It'll be a close game.
Now we'll go to the sorry ass Cowboys.
Oh, sorry. What's up?
1-1,
We got the
right?
Cowboys 1-1
1-1 in our division.
against Chicago.
Cowboys.
Cowboys are favored by 1.5.
Yeah, I think
In
that's
Chicago?
1.5 in Chicago?
That's sad.
Bears.
No offense.
Yeah.
That's sad. It's completely sad. My
It's
defense.
a little sad.
The defense is whack. But you know what I think would be a good game? I mean, I think it'd be a good bet. What is the overs on that?
50 points.
Yeah, it's going to be well more than 50.
think so?
Nobody going to play no defense. Cowboys don't have a defense. Bears don't have a defense.
So
We
it's
can
just be chunking the ball.
Everybody's
I'm gonna
going to
Everyone's
score.
scoring
Pickens going to score. Lamb going to score.
Everybody's
Dak's going to
scoring.
run a touchdown. It's going to be crazy. And Dallas is going to get beat. I'm going to win the game by half point.
Interesting.
Wearing a cowboy shirt.
I think the Cowboys are going to cover 2 points. So,
You got more confidence than I do, but
Benny?
Not Bears.
oh,
Just because you hate
because he
Cowboys
hates the
so bad?
Cowboys.
Hate.
Hater. Hate.
Lou?
Why don't you put your money where your mouth is?
You know what?
that.
I'll go with Vince for
my
Bears
wallet.
for
Bears? Okay.
just for Lovey Smith.
Oh,
back
for
in the day.
love! You're betting love. You're betting with your
Betting
heart.
with
You
my
said
heart.
never bet with your heart.
I like
Never
Chicago.
bet money.
Proximity. I like Chicago.
Oh, all of a sudden you're a Chicago girl. Right?
I hate to say it because I cannot stand that team, but
Cowboys.
Cowboys? Yeah.
Shocker.
It's okay. So I would think the over is going to be 60, 70 points. I would think the final score is going to be 45 to 50. You know,
Yeah.
towards the night.
Damn.
The last game is America's team, the Houston Texans,
How's that America's?
against the sorry ass Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville is favored by 1.5 in
Damn.
Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville.
Damn.
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 What's sadder, bro?
So they think the Texans are going to win.
They think that's exactly
Yeah,
what they think.
that's
So
what they think.
I would go Texans.
You know what?
Texans get their first victory this week.
I'm gonna root.
It's gonna be a
It's
field goal
a
at the
divisional
end.
game,
Watch.
so Texans. But fucking C.J. Stroud, man, throw the ball.
How was your division?
I think it's the offensive scheme.
Like, why are you holding it for so long?
I think it's the offensive scheme.
But like, why? Why is
I
that
hear
the
you,
scheme?
I
Like,
just-
just
You got to ask the
I
offensive
told
coordinator that
Vince every
question.
time, like,
the play
don't
calling,
make
man.
me the offensive coordinator. I'm just chunking
What are
down the
your
field.
thoughts?
Always chunking down the field. Interception.
no,
Who cares?
she's not wrong because
Chunk it
I
down the
remember they were
field.
showing like literally like they barely run the ball, and then when you want to run the ball, you're in the shotgun.
Yeah.
No, it's
Like,
always that same
come on.
play.
Or
run,
it's so
run, pass.
obvious it's a
run,
run.
pass.
Yeah.
Every time.
Middle pass.
Every time.
Every time.
Obviously,
Lost it too.
rolling with the Texans, hometown team, my favorite sports team.
betting
All
with
three.
your heart. Betting with your
Yes,
heart.
I don't care. I will always take the Texans. It is what it is. But going to y'all's point, the scheme is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need something to
I
play
think
quick.
I'll take them because they're playing the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's.
Well, what's this say
Wait,
about
wait.
that?
I think
wait,
that.
wait. Texans. I don't want this to be our lock.
So you go with the Jags.
Jacksonville.
Okay.
Because this what happens is they'll make it the lock of the week, and because we all selected it. So no, I'm gonna take Jaguars.
That's the only reason why?
Yes.
My,
Because I should
I have
think
my
that-
lock.
I
My
should think-
personal lock of the week is and God, please don't kick me in the ass. Is the Packers versus the Browns.
They should beat the Browns.
Packers all day.
They should beat the Browns
I
handily.
agree. Yeah,
What's the
I
spread? 14.
Minus 8.5 in Cleveland. So they're
Yeah.
favored in Cleveland
Yeah,
by
they're
over a
gonna
touchdown.
they're gonna
so.
beat Cleveland by about 10. I would think.
So
You buy it down 2 points. Get that touchdown.
yep. So lock. Do you have any locks that you think of? I think the Texans are going to win in a last second field goal.
I think Texans get their
And
first
pray
victory, but
for
I'm
our
not gonna-
first win.
Okay. Well, that concludes this episode. Mo, thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
on, man.
Mo.
Thank you guys
Thank you,
for
Mo.
having
Very
me.
nice
Good.
meeting you, Mo.